No one saw this coming. Wild Steelers update as the Pittsburgh Steelers look to make some major moves to their offense. My name is Peyton Kleppe, and on today's episode of Steelers Digest, we'll be breaking down the latest Pittsburgh Steelers reports and analysis regarding the Pittsburgh Steelers football team. As Cameron Heyward's little brother looks to make a position change on offense, things can get crazy in Pittsburgh. Before we get into the latest reports, if you guys are not already currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. Only 13% of our current viewers are actually currently subscribed. So if you do click that subscribe button, we will get you the latest Pittsburgh Steelers analysis. Let's get right into it. So like I said, Cameron Heyward's little brother, Connor Heyward, is looking to make a position switch on offense. This is a guy that he came into the league as primarily a tight end, and, he has played some good football for us, has caught some pretty major plays, some pretty major touchdowns. So, he's been pretty good for us, but he really has not been able to see the field a lot. That's the thing with him. He's really in when players like Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington are tired or hurt. He really is that third tight end. So it is kind of hard for him to get on the football field. Steelers sometimes bring him into the backfield and line him up as a tight end here and there. Not a tight end, a fullback. But, they don't really use the fullback too much. Obviously, the fullback position has kind of fell out of popularity in the NFL, sadly. But, Connor Heyward could be looking to make a position change on offense. The Steelers tight end is preparing for a position change in 2025. He's set to take on more snaps at fullback, adding the backfield to his repertoire. To do so, he's bulking up from 230 pounds to 240 pounds. So this dude is putting on some muscle, hitting the gym, and, he wants to get in the backfield and get some more playing time. This definitely indicates that the Pittsburgh Steelers are looking to run the ball a lot more, and I'm happy for him. Connor Heyward is a guy that he's liked by all fans. He's liked, obviously, because of his brother, but also he's a great personality, great locker room guy. If you guys didn't watch the Hard Knocks from last year, it was kind of cool to see his big brother Cam kind of teach him his ways and take him under his wing as he teaches him how to become a pro, like he obviously is. So, but Cameron's little brother Connor did confirm that, my senior year, I played at 240, according to Nick Faraball of Penn Alive. I was blocking some bigger guys, so really just hitting the weight room with Cam. And I know it's got to be a big year in every type of way. Special teams, offense, when I'm in there, perimeter blocking, I also just got to be bigger because, to be a fullback, you do need to put on some pounds. If we go over to Baltimore and look at their big old dude, Pat Ricard, that dude's like an extra offensive lineman. He is huge. He's like 300 pounds, and he still runs pretty fast. So obviously, Connor Heyward's not that big, so he's definitely going to have to make up for it in athleticism. It's definitely good that he is putting on some pounds, but, I couldn't see the Steelers using this guy as more of a gadget fullback, maybe more of like a Kyle Juszczyk kind of guy where, he is coming in to block, but he's also going out on some passing routes, doing this, that, and the other. So I would like to see that role for Connor Heyward. I think he really could thrive in this role and, also just get on the field a lot more. He is going into his fourth year in the NFL, so like he even said, he's going to have to produce. He's going to have to show the Steelers why they should sign him to a second contract, and he's going to want to prove that he's not just Cameron Heyward's little brother. He wants to prove that, he's his own player in the NFL. He's got his own story to write, and I do believe in the guy. I really think he's a smart guy. He's obviously got a great big brother in Cameron Heyward who has been taking him under his wing, showing him along, showing him what it's like to be a pro in the NFL. So he's got some great help. He's definitely got some great support from Coach T and Arthur Smith and those guys. And I think this guy, if he just puts his head down during training camp, plays well in preseason, I really think he could actually make a pretty successful position change to that fullback position. I do believe he did play some fullback in college at Michigan State. Like he was even saying in college, he had to play fullback, had to block some of those bigger guys. So, he's used to doing it. He really just hasn't been asked to do it in the NFL. So I think this could translate, and hopefully we can move him around on the offense. Maybe play him at tight end a few times, play him at fullback here and there, but just give him a more increased role on the offense as he primarily looks to change to obviously fullback. But if we do look at the tight end room, obviously a major loss in Darnell Parham Jr. Dude already blew his Achilles and is out for the season. So, my prayers are for Darnell Parham. I'm wishing him a fast and steady recovery. But we still do have Pat Freiermuth, obviously, our starter, and Darnell Washington, our primary backup in Darnell. But Connor Heyward, we do look at his stats for the past couple years. There's really nothing crazy to look at. If we go back to his rookie year, he was playing with Kenny Pickett. He had 12 catches, 151 yards, and a touchdown. I do believe this was the year where Pat Freiermuth was hurt, and I believe we had maybe Nick Vanette or Zach Gentry behind him, so not too much depth, but Connor Heyward did get some opportunities and did capitalize on those opportunities when he was in the game. If we go to his second year, he had a little bit of a better year with 23 receptions, 167 catching yards, and 0 touchdowns. But last year, he kind of had a down year, only 6 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. But, if we do look at Connor, he's more than just an offensive guy. He also plays some special teams. So, that's another added factor into his value. But, Connor did say that, honestly, just locking in the playbook is what he's trying to do, how he's trying to make this big transition. I feel like everything's just slowed down. Last year, everything was moving so fast. And not saying that I didn't know it, but just being comfortable. So, Arthur Smith won't make this a strict transition to fullback, but, he will be adding it to his arsenal and, making him by extension more versatile because, if he could take on that fullback position role and bring it back to how the Steelers were using that fullback back in the day with Chris Mafala, Viatu, or whatever his name was, I forget. But, if we could play some smash mouth football, run the football with Connor Heyward, I think we're going to get back to the Steelers of old and hopefully with old Aaron finally at mandatory camp today. Looking good in that number 8. Hopefully he can also, help out these young guys, teach them what it's like to be on a winning offense. Obviously Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So if he could just be an open book of knowledge to all these other guys, I think our offense is going to really flourish going into next year. And I think a lot of guys are going to have a big year. Unfortunately, that's all I have for you guys tonight on Steelers Digest. If you guys are not already currently subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. Thank you so much. Here we go, Steelers. Peace out, dude.